2.6 million. GTB is a fraud. We are not just doing it. This one we did this time.
You reverse the money and still put it out again. Why I tell you, 2.6 million is a small money.
This branch is not safe. GTB, you deported me of my money. Return it, I need it.
Nigerian commercial banks, in no distance time, will soon go into oblivion. What I mean is, in a short time from now, most of our commercial banks will be nothing but shadow of themselves. Take for instance, if you go for ordinary ATM in a commercial bank, they will give you one stupid tally number, to fill first. You collect a number, say number 100 or whatever number, depending on the time you get to the bank. Now, if it's a bank where you're good enough to get there without collecting number, say you got there early, they will now give you a form to fill for you to get your ATM. These forms are always very, very stupid and unnecessary. Let me explain. You fill your name. After filling your name, you already told them you want to get an ATM card. Then there will also be a column for you to fill ATM. Then, as if that's not enough, the column will now have different type of ATM, say Visa card, MasterCard, or Verve card. And these stupid banks, knowing fully well that they have just one card, maybe Verve card, they'll still allow you to be filling that form. Then after that, you now get to a place where you will fill in your name, signature, and date. It is usually in two places in front. Then when you turn the form to the back again, you will still see name, signature, and date. Now, who does all this in 2025? But if you make use of the fintechs, in fact, I make use of PalmPay and OPay, even Kuda. The truth is that I don't even know whether they exist anywhere in the world. I just make use of the online information and I fill in my form and I use it to do business. Now let's look at it from this point now. You see, the way the commercial banks are frustrating people, a lot of Nigerians gradually are moving into fintechs. There was a time when people used to say, no, OPay no get bank, this one no get bank. That is, they don't have an office. The truth is that most commercial banks have zero or nothing to offer the Nigerian businesses, because a lot of them would have even died if not because of the Nigerian government giving them that license to steal money from you. Imagine a bank that is not competitive at all. At the end of the month, whether you do business or not, they will just tell you this amount has been deducted from your account for ATM maintenance. I wonder, ATM that is with you, I wonder when they will come and take it and maintain it, even when you don't make use of that ATM at all. They still deduct certain amount of money from you at the end of the month as test, deduction. Who ask you people to send me text message? This is the same text messages you get from these fintechs and nothing is being deducted from you. So this is to tell you that these banks, they are already packing, they are in their last laps, but they just want to still survive a little. And let me tell you, the reason why these banks, the government doesn't want them to die is because, one, they don't want to create so much unemployment, from the banking side. And at the same time, they don't want to give in so much information to a lot of these fintechs, because a lot of them are being foreign sponsored. So I can understand the government that your information might not be 100% safe in the hands of the foreigner. I'll give you a story. I remember back then in school, I was dating this young girl. I was in my finals and she was in a 200 level. So then I thought it was time for me to groom the woman whom I thought would be my wife in future. Even though I never knew that today the future would be me, scouting the internet looking for solution to create content that to touch, the heart. It took me a whole session just to get to this lady to listen to me. And now, there came this young man that happens to be a banker. He's somebody that I've known in Lagos, during my secondary school days as bros. So then they just newly transferred him to the area where I school. So he called me, it was like I should help him get one babe for him to be using to whole side. And young men will be like that, especially when they move into a new area. They want to acclimatize with the weather and also acclimatize with all the natural resources that is in that area. Now, trust me, in those days, when you meet a girl and tell her that I'm a banker, there's this usual goose pimples that will grow in the body of this young girl, because bankers in those days, they had this very huge reputation. In fact, if a young man approaches your parents that they want to seek your hand in marriage, and your dad asks the young man, what do you do for a living? The young man will boldly say, I'm a banker, sir. Now, you needed to see this eulogy that will come out from the mouth of the father-in-law to be, praising the young man. Oh, you work with so man. Oh, I used to bank with Societe Generale. You see, the dad will start acting like Ukwa in Nigerian Nollywood. Of course, that was the respect they gave to bankers, because then bankers used to be very, very rich because they were the god of money. But today, can you still give the same accord to somebody that works in the bank? Now, before I go further, let me remind you that this young girl that I was gushing all my life just to be with, I would see this girl off from our hostel to a class where she will be having a lecture, despite the fact that I had mine. Then after a lecture, I'll still see her off to her hostel room. Then in the evening, when she's going for a reading, I'll see her off to where she's going to go read. I'll stay with her there, read for a while, then moving to another place where I'll be doing my reading. And a whole lot of times she'll call my attention that there's this thing that she's not understanding. And funny enough, she was doing a different course from mine. She was studying sociology. You needed to see me doing the real man thing. I'll have to start studying things in sociology, our own course that they taught her in class. She had the textbook also. I was not in the class. I had to come and bail her out. I'll have to start studying it and be explaining to her. Meanwhile, I had my own course to read. That was how much I loved this girl. But it was very difficult for me to even give this girl, a close hug. All she could give me then was a side hug. But to my greatest surprise, this, my banker bros, called me one day that, Omo, you get one babe where I just meet for your school. Omo, this girl, sweet gone. So he invited me to his house that weekend. So I got there, say around 10 in the morning. As a student now, I was very hungry. I wanted to go and eat in my bro's house. What took me by surprise was to see my Fadike, that was her name then, coming into the sitting room with her night clothes. That means she slept in my boss's house with her 2 bobby dangling at me. You know, I almost fainted. You know, that means this bros that came into town less than a month has already started chopping my one and only beloved girlfriend and future wife to be. So that was how bankers were ruling the Nigerian coast then. In fact, bankers of then were Yahoo boys of today. And this guy then, his car was just Audi 80. You needed to see where girls will hop into my bros Audi 80 and just put on their seat belt as if they are sitting inside one GLK of 2025. Oh my God. Who would have thought that in 2025 that bankers would be seen at bus stops with different papers carrying account opening information, looking for people, begging market women and passers-by to come and open account, with the way they dress looking like charge and bail lawyers. I predicted this many years ago about the falling of Nitel because of the way they used to behave like one god of telephone. But today, where is Nitel? They are nowhere to be found. The same fate is happening to our banks. And here guys, what do you see about the Nigerian commercial banks? And don't forget to like this video, then share your thoughts. Alright guys, my name is King James. I'll see you next time.